Now, in this video, we will going to discuss about developing a PLM strategy. So, point number 1, what are the points to be remembered, or what are the points to be considered for developing a PLM strategy? Point number 1, collecting information. So, this information with which the strategy will be developed is collected and assembled. That means the data has to be collected and assembled, that is properly, which should be arranged. PLM strategy can be developed by understanding fully the activities and resources in the product life cycle. So that means the strategy can be developed only by understanding fully what are all the activities and what are all the resources you have in the product life cycle. This understanding must be based on factual information rather than guesses and opinions. So that means you cannot have any guess. Oh, it will be like this, and you cannot have your own opinions. Just it's not possible. It's not possible. You should have a proper understanding of the actual factual information. That is the actual information. The PLM vision already contains information about the future. The PLM vision already contains the information about the future. Most of the information to be collected must address the current situation. So most of the information what you will going to collect must address the current situation. And here the information collection can be from the data, like a questionnaire. You can have the data which is required. It may be in the form of a questionnaire, wherein you are going to have yes or no also, or sometimes you may have to give some elaborate or a descriptive one also. That is also, it is possible. So here then the associated targets, customer and innovation objectives, strategies, details of resources, revenue resources, capabilities, strength and weaknesses. So the associated targets are what? So that is basically when you say the PLM vision already contains information about future, most of the information to be collected must address the current situation as listed below. What are the current situations? One is the associated targets. What are all the targets you need to achieve? Then customer and innovation objectives. What is the customer and their objectives? Then strategies. How to tackle those objectives. That is the strategy which is required. Details of resources. Whether the resources are available to target the strategies and the objectives. Then revenue resources. Presently, what resources you have in your organization. Then whether you have capability to develop and whether you have a proper strength, and also what are all your weaknesses. All those things which you should have a say in your organization. The environment in the company, industry and in the market. The environment in the company is a core. I mean, it is the first. Then afterward that comes with the industry. What is that? What is the difference between a company and an industry? A company is an individual, an industry is a group, and in the market it becomes a globe. So that means a company, a set of companies will going to become an industry, and set of industry will going to become the market. So that means here the market what we are talking about is the competitiveness and the competitors what you have in the industry, because you should have always a competition, then only you will going to have a good market. Because once you have a competition, you will going to constantly, we will be thinking about the product quality and also the cost, because these are the two things which will going to be related properly. So that means you will going to have a good quality, and when you want to increase the good quality, naturally the cost will going to be also increased. But at the same time, when you want to increase the quality of the product, you have to keep the cost as far as possible down. The key factors for success, trends, key factors for success, trends, opportunities and threats. What are all the key factors for success you are going to have? What are all the trends you have? What are all the opportunities you will have? What are all the threats? What is the threats? Threats means do you have any problem with the product? Next, Identifying possible strategies. Second point. What is the identifying a possible strategies? Several potential strategies are identified, formulated, and described in terms of resources and the organization and policies to be applied to the resources. So several potential strategies are identified. That means you are able to identify the strategies. Formulated. What is this formulation? That means hierarchically, that means stepwise you need to formulate which comes first, which comes second, which comes third. All those things you should be formulated and described in terms of resources. So we need to describe them in terms of the resources. That means the available, whether whatever you have formulated, whether it is available in our organization, and then whether it is available or whether it need to be procured, whether the resources will have the capability to do it, and the organization and policies to be applied to the resources. So that means what policies you should be applied to get into proper strategies. They have to meet the objectives. These have to meet the objectives of the company and at the same time be clear and simple to avoid being complex and confusing for its implementation, thereby leading to its failure. So this should be very, very careful. That means when you have been met with, when you have to meet the objectives of the company, what are all the things you should be addressed? One is you should have a clear idea about your objectives of the company, and simple. That means it should be easily understandable, and try to avoid being complex. That means there should not be any ambiguity. Ambiguity should not be there. That is confusing for its implementation. So when you are implementing the strategies or the objectives of the company, you should not have any confusion. There should not be any leading to the confusion. It should not be there. And also it should not be very, very complex. You should not be able to understand that, thereby leading to its failure. If you don't have the proper understanding, then definitely your strategies will going to become a failure. So then selecting a strategy. How to select a strategy? Potential strategies are evaluated and tested. So all the strategies which you want to make, it should be properly evaluated, means analyzed and tested. That means you have to give a test, and the most appropriate strategy is selected. So once you have formulation, when you have a list of strategies you want to apply, which is the one which you need to apply? To apply that, we need to have a evaluation and testing, and the most appropriate strategy is selected and tested. This is ascertained. What? The evaluation and testing has to be ascertained by conducting SWOT, means strength, weakness, opportunities and threat analysis. Repeat, SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunities and threats. What are your strength? What are the strength of the company? What are all its weaknesses? Because you should have everything in your mind. Then what are all the opportunities, whether you have a proper opportunity in the market, and what are all the threats you are going to get out of this. All these things should be analyzed before selecting the strategy. It is important that the analysis be carried out on the basis of facts and opinions. So you have to have facts. Based on that, you need to have to do the analysis. Then point number 4, communicating the selected strategy. So once you select the strategy, you need to communicate with whom. It involves communicating the chosen strategy to the people who will be affected or involved. So that means who are the stakeholders, namely product developer, then field engineers, customers, company management, supplier, regulatory organizations and so on. So communicating the selected strategy. So we need to communicate to with whom we need to communicate, because once you select this strategy, we need to make the people to understand, because only some of the people will be involved in all these things. But we need to address to the people who will be affected or involved. That means these people are called the stakeholders. Who are all the stakeholders? One is the product developer. The one who develops the product is the product developer. He should understand. Once the product developer understands, the field engineers. That means once the product has to be pushed to the market, wherein the engineers who will going to be working on that, because they need to convince the customers. So who are the customers who will going to convince the customers? The field engineers, or in other words, the marketing engineers. And company management, because the company management should have a clear vision and the clear understanding of the strategies. Why? Because they need to invest, because the company management has to invest on the product. So if they want to invest on the product, they should have a clear-cut vision that your product or this product will going to make through in the market. Then suppliers. Why the suppliers has to be involved? Because they are the people who will going to supply the, because once this supplier, what we are talking about, is the one who will going to have the outsourcing. And regulatory organizations and so on. Who are the regulatory organization? The one who will going to have, it's in the government body and so on. Then the point number 5, planning the PLM strategy. We need to plan the PLM strategy. How? The PLM strategy report must contain a plan showing how the strategy will be implemented over the length of the total duration for the implementation. So that means, so you should have a proper documentation which contain a plan showing how the strategy will be implemented. So that means you have to give the proper clear-cut steps how the strategy will be implemented over the length of the total duration of the implementation. That means how much time it will going to take for the implementing this PLM strategy. All these information you need to show, or you need to plan. In your plan you need to mention. Structure of the plan should follow that for the PLM framework, making it easier for managers and other people to see how all the issues are linked and will be addressed. Because what happens is, in an organization, you have set of people are involved. In the set of people are involved, then all those people will not form the PLM strategy. They will not going to plan that. Only some of the set of people will going to be involved in that. Once the set of people are involved, then only those people will be knowing ins and outs of that strategy. So, and then what they do, they will going to make these people, and they will going to address the managers of the individual department, and they will going to address them and other people to see how all the issues linked and will be addressed. And that means these people will going to be seen how the issues are linked and how it will going to be addressed. All those things which will going to be addressed by these PLM framework or PLM people. Then the next is, in the next video, we will going to discuss about identifying the PLM strategies. Thank you.